Welcome to our comprehensive overview of the countries most affected by forest fires. In this video, we will explore the devastating impact of wildfires across the globe, with a spotlight on regions like Brazil's Amazon rainforest, Australia's bushlands, and the ever-volatile landscapes of the United States. We will also examine the causes and consequences of these catastrophic events in countries such as Indonesia, Russia, Canada, Greece, Argentina, Portugal, and Chile. Join us as we uncover the stories behind the flames and highlight the urgent need for conservation efforts worldwide. 1. Brazil. The Amazon on fire. Brazil is often at the forefront of forest fire discussions, particularly due to the Amazon rainforest, which is crucial for global biodiversity and carbon storage. In 2023, Brazil reported a staggering 78,000 fire outbreaks, a slight increase from the previous year. The primary causes include illegal logging, land clearing for agriculture, and climate change. The Brazilian government has implemented stricter regulations, but enforcement remains a challenge. According to the National Institute for Space Research, INPE, the deforestation rates in the Amazon have surged by 22% in recent years, exacerbating the fire situation. These fires not only threaten wildlife but also contribute to global warming by releasing large amounts of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. 2. Australia. Battling bushfires. Australia has a long history of devastating bushfires, particularly in its southeastern regions. The 2019-2020 bushfire season was one of the worst on record, with over 18 million hectares burned. In 2025, Australia continues to grapple with seasonal fires, fueled by extreme heat and prolonged drought. The government has invested in firefighting resources and community education, emphasizing the need for resilience against climate change. Studies show that the frequency and intensity of these fires are expected to increase, making it crucial for Australia to adopt sustainable land management practices. The impact on Australia's unique flora and fauna is profound, with species like koalas and kangaroos facing increased threats. 3. United States. Wildfires in the West. The United States, particularly the western states like California and Oregon, faces significant wildfire threats. In 2024, over 10 million acres were consumed by wildfires, with California declaring multiple states of emergency. Factors such as prolonged drought, invasive species, and the increasing urban wildfire interface contribute to the severity of these fires. The U.S. Forest Service has been proactive in utilizing controlled burns and forest thinning to mitigate fire risk, but climate change poses ongoing challenges. Recent research indicates that wildfires could increase in frequency and severity by 50% by 2050 if current trends continue. This scenario paints a dire picture for the future, urging immediate action to combat the root causes. 4. Indonesia. Peatland and palm oil. Indonesia has faced severe forest fires, particularly in its peatland areas, which are often set ablaze to clear land for palm oil plantations. In 2023, the country reported a resurgence in fires, with over 40,000 fire hotspots detected by satellite imagery. Despite government efforts to ban burning practices, enforcement remains weak, and the fires significantly contribute to greenhouse gas emissions. The World Wildlife Fund, WWF, highlights that these fires threaten biodiversity, particularly endangered species like the orangutan. Sustainable land use practices are essential to mitigate the fire crisis in Indonesia. Without such measures, the rich biodiversity of Indonesia could suffer irreparable harm. 5. Russia. Siberian wildfires. Russia, especially Siberia, experiences extensive wildfires, particularly during dry summers. In 2024, satellite data indicated that over 9 million hectares of forest were burned, primarily due to natural causes such as lightning strikes. However, human activities, including logging and agriculture, also play a role. The Russian government has been criticized for its slow response to wildfires, often allowing them to burn unchecked due to the remote nature of the affected areas. Research suggests that climate change will exacerbate the frequency and intensity of these wildfires, posing severe risks to the environment. The vast expanse of Siberia, often dubbed the lungs of the planet, is under threat, emphasizing the need for urgent intervention. 6. Canada. A growing concern. Canada has been increasingly affected by wildfires, particularly in British Columbia and Alberta. In 2023, approximately 6 million hectares burned, primarily due to hot, dry conditions and lightning strikes. The Canadian government has implemented forest management strategies, including controlled burns and fire breaks, to combat the issue. However, as temperatures rise, the risk of wildfires is expected to increase. The Canadian Forest Service has warned that wildfires could become more common and severe, transforming forest ecosystems and affecting air quality across the continent. The economic implications are also significant, with fires threatening timber resources and tourism. 7. Greece. Mediterranean wildfires. Greece has been grappling with intense wildfires, especially during the hot summer months. In 2023, the country experienced its worst fire season in decades, resulting in the destruction of thousands of hectares of forest and significant damage to rural communities. Climate change, along with inadequate forest management and urban planning, has exacerbated the situation. The Greek government has taken steps to improve fire prevention strategies, including enhancing firefighting capabilities and promoting community awareness. However, with rising temperatures, Greece must remain vigilant and proactive in its approach to wildfire management. The cultural and historical heritage of Greece adds another layer of urgency to these efforts. 8. Argentina. The Chaco region fires. Argentina's Chaco region has faced increasing forest fires, driven by agricultural expansion and illegal logging. In 2023, over 1 million hectares were burned, significantly impacting biodiversity and indigenous communities. The Argentine government has enacted laws to protect forests, but enforcement is often lacking. Research indicates that the frequency of wildfires in Argentina is likely to increase, emphasizing the need for sustainable land use policies. Engaging local communities in conservation efforts is vital to preserving these critical ecosystems. The fires not only threaten the environment but also the livelihoods of local populations reliant on the land. 9. Portugal. A history of destruction. Portugal has a long history of devastating wildfires, often fueled by dry summers and strong winds. In 2024, the country faced significant fire outbreaks, particularly in rural areas. The government has invested in firefighting resources and prevention strategies, but challenges remain due to climate change and land abandonment. Studies reveal that the frequency of wildfires in Portugal has increased, necessitating a shift towards proactive forest management and community involvement. Implementing sustainable practices is crucial for protecting Portugal's unique landscapes. The resilience of Portugal's forests is being tested, demanding innovative solutions to ensure their survival. 10. Chile. Forest fires and deforestation. Chile experiences significant forest fires, particularly in its central and southern regions. In 2023, over 300,000 hectares were affected, primarily due to agricultural practices and climate change. The Chilean government has responded by enhancing firefighting capabilities and promoting sustainable forestry practices. However, challenges persist, particularly regarding land use conflicts and deforestation. Research indicates that without significant intervention, the frequency and severity of wildfires in Chile could escalate, threatening biodiversity and ecosystems. The fires also pose a risk to Chile's wine industry, a vital part of its economy and culture.